What's up, everybody? My name is Mechanic Dave, and as you can see by the wall, there's probably more models to be shown, which there are. Welcome to part 3. Let's just dive right the fuck on in. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with this guy. Ford Torino. Now, this was actually a Starsky and Hutch model, which I didn't do the graphics because they fell off and one of them was broken. But you know, I think it's a really cool car. It kind of reminds me of the LTD. Inside, is there a floor shifter? No, there is not. It's a column shifter. Interesting. We have the original rally wheels, or dish mags, I would say. You know, completely stock. That's disgusting. Dried paint. That's another weird thing about the hood. I beefed up the motor a little bit by putting a new air cleaner, new carbs, and new valve covers onto it. But other than that, that's the stock motor. And I also added the push bar on there because I had one left over from, I can't even remember what it was, but I thought it looks cool. You know, pretty generic looking. Nice thing was I didn't have to paint it because it was already a nice color. So, you know, let's read it. For 4 seasons on the ABC network, detectives David Starchy and Kenneth Hutchinson chased the bad guys in their bright red Ford Torino. In one episode, Hutch gave it the nickname the Striped Tomato. Whatever you call it, this TV's star is one of the most recognized cars of all time. The show ran from 1975 to 1979, which over 92 episodes and a car chase in almost every one. In the series, the production company used more than one car. The cars differed slightly in details and equipment from year to year. There never was only one exact car. In 1976, Ford themselves produced 1,001 replicas of this famous car. Since the days of the show, ordinary Torinos are turned into clone versions every year. Pretty generic. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it was an easy build, but not really like my cup of tea. Moving on. Ooh. 1968 Chevy Corvette. This was a convertible one, but I have the hard top on it. What have I done to it? Well, 350 small block Moroso heads, which I really want to paint gold because you can't get gold heads anymore. Got the side pipes. Big shifter, it's got the, I'm trying to think of the name, the Roadster look to it. Original wheels. Black and red striped interior, which I think looks awesome. And this car is actually called Little Red Corvette because this was built after Prince died, so I named it Little Red Corvette because it's quite a small model. Yeah, I apologize, my hands are dirty. I was recording more episodes for you fuckers. Oh, interesting fact. So the hood, which came with a big cowl at the back, which you can see right here, had a hole in the hood designed for a blower. I wanted the big looking hood, so after I found the hole, I found a seat and cut it up, and that's now my cowl. And I actually think it doesn't look half bad. It looks almost mint. The 1968 Corvette introduced the 3rd generation of the famous line and remains the longest lived of all Corvettes to date. Its dramatic design, inspired largely by the Mako Shark show car, interesting, featured spectacular styling for the late 60s. And its wasp-waisted Coke bottle shape was widely admired. I don't see a Coke bottle here, do you? I don't. It did retain the original Stingray chassis, however, with many important performance enhancements. 7-inch wide rally wheels were now standard in big selections of final drive ratios offered for drag strip acceleration or road race style top speed. A 435 horsepower big block engine was added to the top of the line. This 427 cubic inch V8 power plant was fed by a single 4-barrel carb. That's interesting that they could get a big block with a single carb getting 435 horsepower, almost 440 horse. I thought that was pretty cool. Took in fresh air through a cowl induction scooped hood. The interior featured bucket seat standard, of course, with wood-rimmed steering wheel and fully instrumented dashboard and console, including gauges for your engine RPM, fuel, water temp, clock, oil pressure, and battery. That's pretty cool for being a 68, having all that. My truck doesn't even have a clock or a fucking water pump thing. So that's pretty ahead of its time. Yeah, this is a nice model. It's got a nice look to it. I think so, at least. Moving on. Ooh. Give you a second to think about what the hell that is. Alright, are you ready? Because you're wrong. That's not a Buick. That is a 1983. One of that is the second newest model I own in terms of year. The other one's a 1990 Mustang, which is shit. It's a 1983 Hearst Oldsmobile. So that means it's got the Hearst Performance pack in it. Has the original wheels, a nice side exit pipe. Well, not really side exit, but rear exiting. It's got a little rust on it, as you can see there, and more right there. That's just because paint rubbed off. It has a T-shifter on the inside, which is more than likely a Hearst. Why wouldn't it be? Under the hood, we have a fuel-injected... What is that? Looking at the thing... 307. We'll call that a 350 because it's bigger. I love I can make up my own rules. Come on, there we go. Yeah, this is it's actually a very sturdy car. I mean, yeah, I can really press down on that and it just stays firm. My favorite part is probably the jowls, I call them, on this. There's no front splitter right here. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I like the jowls hanging off. It's got a nice looking rear end. It looks sophisticated. I mean, it is also an 83. The relationship between Hearst Performance Products and Oldsmobile goes way back to 1968 when the first Hearst Oldsmobile Cutlass was introduced. The fifth and last generation was offered in 83 and 84. It was built off the rear-wheel drive G-body of the Cutlass. In 83, only 3,001 cars were produced and were available only in black with silver rocker panels. Rocker panels were obviously, those were the decals. And as you know, I hate decals, so whole thing's gray with a black hood, which I think just looks a lot cooler. 84, the colors were reversed, but otherwise the cars were identical. The Cutlass nameplate started in 61 and was used on a number of different platforms, or different types of Oldsmobiles. During the 1980s, it was on both an A-body Sierra, not the Sierra as in the GMC Sierra. This is spelled C-I-E-R-A, Chiara, and the mid-size G-body Supreme platform. The specially equipped Hearst Cutlass had a 307 cubic inch V8, lightning rod floor shifter, and a 12-bolt posi rear end with 373 gears. I keep fucking up the decimal point. Ugh. So those gears are pretty good for hauling in a straight line. So that'll put a lot of torque on the back. It won't do that per se, but It'll feel like it if you're driving it. Yeah, this is one of my more sturdy models. I mean, I can just beat the snot out of this thing and it won't break. I mean, I could squeeze the shit out of it. On some of my models, if you even look at it wrong, it'll break. As you'll see in probably a future episode, because I don't have my most flimsy model out today. Okay. Ooh, this one's fun. So you might recognize this one from the movie Too Fast, Too Furious. The only Fast and Furious movie without Vin Diesel. This is the 1969 Yenko Camaro. So Yenko is like the Shelby for Chevy. Chevy. Got a nice ring to it. This is one of the few cars that I have decals on for the only reason for it to look movie correct. And yeah, the hood's broken a little bit, but you know, I don't talk that much. So there's the SYC stripes on that. Bucket seats have SYC on them. Got a nice shifter. Yenko stripe. Built 100% spec. And it's kind of like it's winking because the glue dried weird here. I don't know why. Let's see. What has it got for a motor? That looks like 454? You want to say? Big block? Maybe. Let's read the bio. So this is the car that Brian O'Connor drove after he won it from the muscleheads / assholes in the street race, because they needed this one for the scramble to get away. So in the second Fast and Furious movie, the street racing competition heats up and the cars get faster. While it doesn't win in the movie, the Yenko is a real winner today. With the Chevy Camaro introduced in '67, Don Yenko saw an opportunity for his Chevy dealership to offer special performance versions. In 1969, Don was able to order uniquely equipped Camaros under the special GM COPO order program. I actually have another COPO Camaro that you're going to see soon. So Yenko Chevy ordered 201 custom Camaros with L72 engines and a list of their performance extras. Fast and Furious movie franchise. Now, the Camaro wasn't the first special performance car at Don Yenko's dealership. In 1965, they built specially modified Corvairs called Stingers. Starting in 1967, Don switched specially modified Camaros. 1969 Camaro COPO cars were equipped with a 450 horsepower, 427 cubic inch engine, power disc brakes, 410 posi rear end, and a Z28 front anti-sway bar, and the choice of M21 4-speed or a turbo hydromatic 400 automatic transmission. On the outside, there was a cowl induction hood and front rear spoilers. It was all topped up with special Yenko badges and graphics. I think that's a pretty neat history, honestly, because they took a normal Camaro, slapped a giant motor in it, beefed it up, and it's an awesome street ride. These things sound dirty in real life, and yeah, it's a little dusty. Ugh, look at that. Disgusting. It's not the prettiest build. It's definitely not as nice as the Charger, Dom's Charger. And if you can see, right there's a little split. That's because the decal broke while I was applying it. Another reason I don't apply decals very often. Cool car. Got nice thick wheels too. Not terribly thick. They're just right. It's a Goldilocks car. Alrighty. Ooh. This one's neat. So this is labeled as a Datsun off-road pickup. And that's what it should have looked like. I don't like listening to directions, so I made a lowered mini truck. This is a drift truck, actually, with giant fucking rims that are off of, I think, 41 Chevy pickup, because that model comes with a variety of rims to use. Not entirely sure of the year. It doesn't really say. That just gives a background on it. I think it's a 1980. Probably is. So, obviously it's lowered. It doesn't have the rack on the back. Nice Datsun logo on the tailgate. You can see the custom tailpipe right there. This is once I started getting a little bit better with the decals. So, I did that myself. Inside it's got typical old shifter. Bucket seats, steering wheel. Under the hood, we have a kind of a weird motor. I don't know what I was thinking when I built it. Come on. I don't know what I was really thinking when I built it, but it's based off of a 305 engine with a Nissan valve cover at the top, and that's supposed to be a turbocharger. It's a little odd, but I was in a time crunch with limited parts. This front chin splitter is from a Mustang Boss. And drop springs on there. Nice lowered leaf spring. I think that's actually from a... I'm not sure what this rear end from, because that wasn't the right rear end, because the other rear end stuck out because it was supposed to be lifted. So, all custom mixed suspension. But, yeah, I think it's a neat truck. It's a neat little mini truck. The Nissan Motor Company has been making pickup trucks since 1934. Wow, beginning with the Model 13. In 1958, they started importing trucks into the USA under the name Datsun. They quickly established a foothold in the American market. After a number of model changes, the 720 was introduced in 1980. Model 720 was equipped with an overhead cam NAPS-Z 2.4-liter engine that developed a measly 103 horsepower. The Model 720 pickup represented the final years of Nissan trading under the name Datsun. The 720 was offered in a number of different configurations, including long beds and crew cabs. That's interesting. This off-road version featured four-wheel drive, does not, raised suspension, no, splash pan, no, and flexible fender flares, no. It was manufactured in an all-new factory located in Tennessee. I don't know why that's important, but it's not. It's pretty basic. I mean, it opens and closes. Motor, yeah, whatever. It was actually a Ford engine, as you can see right there. Oh, it's upside down. You can see right there. There's the Ford logo. So, it's interesting. Interesting that Datsun has a Ford with a valve cover where the intake manifold should be, but, you know, who's keeping track these days? Alright, back to Camaros. Let's see. Another 69. This one's slightly different. Let's see if you can see why or how. Give you a second. Incorrect. Nope. Wrong. This is a COPO Camaro. That's the performance versions. So, COPO Camaros were established before the Yenkos, obviously. And they featured a bigger engine, bigger tires, all that fun jazz. As you can see, I put bigger tires on it, which actually are kind of negative cam or positive camber, whichever way it does. I'm not gay, so I don't know the terms. This actually does have a drive shaft. I'm proud of myself. So that has the RS grill, which I had an SS grill laying around. I like the paint. It's kind of like a metallic metal flake blue. But at the same time, it's also like oceany. There we have the 454 that I swapped into it. This model originally came with a 302, which that needed to go. That's garbage. So 4 dual carbs, performance headers, full length, and the Camaro Z28/RS rims. It has a nice shifter on inside and a chrome steering wheel. Fun fact, these Camaros was what got me into model making. My guidance counselor had one, and I was too good for the instructions, so I just tossed it to the wind and started building my own. And I eventually gave him that model, and I've always wanted another one. So, and after the Yenko, well, it's a Yenko, you know, but this is a nice COPO. So you can see there's a slight dimple on the door. I like to pretend it got banged up in a car park, maybe grocery shopping. But the side's not that bad. It's got the nice ducktail spoiler. I have so many of those, it's ridiculous. Let's read the bio. Let's see. Developed as a street-driven version of the Trans Am Racing Camaro, the Z28 designation indicated a special high-performance version of the popular Camaro that blended superb handling with excellent acceleration. In the hands of Mark Dehone and the Penske Trans Am team, the competition prepared version dominated. That doesn't sound right at all. I'm reading that correctly. The 1969 racing season and the impressive performance of the street variant established the 69 Z28 as one of the muscle car legends of the 60s. This model of the 69 Z28 captures everyday detail of this famous performance machine and includes a miniature 302 cubic inch V8 motor with 2 4 carbs, which, yeah, they're ugly. A close ratio 4-speed tranny, heavy duty suspension, optional front and rear aerodynamic spoilers, and the RS package. The interior sports an optional center console and bucket seats. This famed Screamer rides on gleaming rally wheels, which those were removed and given the Kragers. Because I think I used the rally wheels from this to put onto the 57 Fairlane I have. Bodywork distinguished by the famed Z28 stripes on the hood and trunk. Experience the excitement of the hottest Chevy Camaro with the Revell Z28. Yeah, I didn't put the stripes on there. Honestly, I thought it looked dumb with them on, so I just left them off and painted it. I originally did have a black roof because it was two-tone, but I repainted it. And yeah, this is another semi-sturdy model. I mean, yeah, there's a little give in it. It's also not 100% level. It's just what happens when you glue. I have that done to a lot of cars, so don't worry. Let's see. 57 Chevy Bel Air. This one has been hot rodded. This is not the stock bullshit that was around. I don't like it per se because of the vinyl roof, which I tried making it look like bodywork as much as possible. So, nice racing red interior. Column shifter, because, you know, we're too good for floor shifters. I did all the gold trim on that, the gold stripes up here. I have little pieces of silver lining the fins. I have a nice custom exhaust going out and some interesting rims, which I'm not sure what came off of it. So, yeah, there you can see the custom exhaust and the... there's no cross transmission brace there. That's not safe. And there's another classic example of what happens when glue hits glass. Engine or hood off. We have a really interesting air cleaner lid. I don't have any other one like that. But this is swapped out with a 460 Ford big block because it's all I had laying around. I wanted a big block. Let's see. There are very few cars as iconic as the 57 Chevy. It was the last year of the famous Tri-5s. In 1955, Chevy offered its now famous small block V8 for the first time. It represented a major step forward in performance. This increased performance was demonstrated on and off the racetrack. Even the convertibles won all 3 of stock car racing drivers' championships for the new convertible class. Nice. While the 57 Chevy was originally intended to be a complete redesign, bullshit. That's fucking blatant copycatting yourself. All right. The work was delayed in 1958 due to a production issue. Instead, Ed Cole, chief engineer, implemented design changes that have made the 57 Chevy coveted by all collectors. While Chevy didn't sell as many cars in 57 as some other car companies, those other cars were nowhere near as popular as the now famous Tri-5 57. And I can agree. I agree with that 100%. You can take, say, an Impala and put it next to this. Same year. Well, I don't even know if they made a 57 Impala. They probably did. You can put an Impala next to this. Same year, same... I was going to say trim level, but I think they'd have different. And honestly, I'd go to the Bel Air before I'd go to the Impala. I think a lot of people would too. It's just become an icon at this point. And they're just so rare nowadays. Like, you can't find these anymore. Yeah. That one I think I'm getting rid of. I don't know. I'm not thinking about it. Next one. Foose. Another one by Chip Foose. 65 Chevy Impala. So this is the Foose edition, which comes with the floor shifter, chrome floor shifter. Nice center console, red interior. I like the red velvet interior, I really do. This time I was able to keep all 6 headlight or taillights on there. It's got the nice Foose rims. See what we got underneath here. Is this motor swapped out? I can't remember. Yes, it is. So, this, let me see. Look through it and see what kind of motor it originally had. That motor is currently residing in the COPO Camaro. So this is the 302. Yeah, very small. But it has a gold air cleaner lid. So, I mean, that's nice at least. Let's see. Here we go now. The second series of TV. This 65 Impala got the complete Foose makeover before being returned to the owner. The 65 Impala was the first of the 4th generation and featured many improvements over the earlier cars. Chip Foose and Chevrolet have one thing in common. They are both very popular with the American public. So Chip's selection of the 65 Impala as a featured car was no surprise. In 65, Chevy gave the Impala a complete redesign, including full-width perimeter frame for a smoother ride. The Foose treatment can be seen on both the interior and exterior on this car. The rims, the stock ones, probably look like trash. So, I'm glad we now have these ones. Really nice bucket seats. Because I think the original Impala featured a bench seat. Don't quote me on that. Not sure. But it's not the best model in the world. You can see that guy's going. Something's happening there. It's dirty. There's paint. Or there's glue on the windshield as usual. There's a little scuff in my fender. Sad about that. This is the Super Sport model. As you can see right there. So this guy goes boom, vroom, vroom. And it doesn't do hoppies like another Impala I have. Alright. Get that out of the way. Now this one I was not prepared. So I need to find the Owner's manual. Oh, wow. First try. So this is a Ford Bronco. As you can probably see. And I'm not 100% on the year. You know, it could be a 66 or 77 or anywhere in between. But this has gotten a full off-road makeover. So, bull bar, bumper, winch, big KC lights up here and roof racks. You can really see that transfer case there. Monster tires at the back. We have louvers. We have more bars for a bumper. Let's see, under the hood, we have a 460 big block with not a supercharger. That's just the air cleaner lid. So it's a twin or a dual carb with that. So plus, it just looks cooler like that. All right. It has a. Does it have a roll cage inside? It does an unpainted roll cage inside, as you can maybe see up here. Floor shifter. Because it's cool. I have Mustang seats, I want to say, in there from a 68 GT. So this is, I really like this car. I painted it all blue originally and then added the black hood. And it just looks menacing. So as you can see, big old lift kit. Nice big monster tires. Those are Jeep rims with Jeep tires from a Jeep Wrangler model. I borrowed a ton of off-road parts from other models just to make this one awesome. And it shows. It really is cool. I did have another tire on the roof, but I took it off because I needed it for something. Bio time. Wow. 50 years. Wow. The original Ford Bronco could be considered to be ahead of its time. It was Ford's first compact SUV, a category which has become so popular today. Bronco remained basically unchanged from 66 to 77 and has extended it to 5 generations. Based on a 92-inch wheelbase, the first Bronco was intended as an off-road, multi-purpose truck with 4-wheel drive. The base price was under $2,200 when it was introduced. The original Bronco offered a long list of options but still remained a very basic vehicle. That's kind of contradicting itself. It was designed with a clear sheet, and unlike the Mustang, it did not use an existing platform. There were 2 engines to choose from, a straight 6-cylinder or a more powerful small block V8, and 3 body styles, a wagon, a half cab, and a roadster. This is the half cab. So, or is this the roadster? I don't know. I'm going to call it the half cab for now. Other options included such things as a swing away spare tire and bench style back seat. That's a small bench seat back there. So, yeah, you can see more glue mishaps right there. You know, I really don't care. We have the custom exhaust here. A little bit of blue on my this. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Should I take the top off of it or have a removable top? I'm up in the air about that. I don't think I should, but I don't know. Really cool hood. As you can see, it was blue. It was black. It's a big fucking engine. It's one of my favorite off-road vehicles. You know. Alrighty. That's all the time I have for today. Another 30-minute model video. Let me know what you thought about some of these models down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications so you can get notified when these come out. Very exciting. Huge thanks to Revell for making some incredible models. And thank you to the insanity in my brain for making some of these interesting ones come out. So, yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys in the next episode, which will probably be more models. I have another, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 more models. So if we do 6 per episode, I can I could string this out for a couple more episodes. Hell yeah. Genius idea by Mechanic Dave. See you later. I'm headed out to watch the Super Bowl. Bye-bye.